Hello everyone and welcome back to Squeedlebox. Today we'll be looking at the Limtoys The Last of Us. It's been 10 years since the outbreak day from 2013 and I'm really glad that Limtoys chose to do it in its original form. The Last of Us Part 1 is my favorite game, and this box of toy had just taken me travel back in time to 10 years ago when I first met the game. This is the best The Last of Us action figure that you can get. But this is everything that comes along with the box. All the accessories and the body looks like they've just came out of the game. It is all worth the 3 years of waiting, and I'm really happy to share it with you. And the figure stand had nameplate on it with etching of their names. Their stories starts right here. With all the sharpness and great painting work done, Joel looked exactly as I expect him to be. His newly customized body ensured better articulation, and you can see the weathering and blood spot on his shirts. There's even tons of details on his shoes. And of course, Joel's wearing the socks for his ankle's sake, which you will also see in the games. And the skinny body for Ellie really nailed it. They really caught the feeling of an underaged teenage girl. And by the way, her ponytail was actually movable. And after modifying the cloth material over and over again, the final product was more than satisfying. There's no thread residue, and the overall color was really great. I really love the weathering they've done on her shoes. The texture and shoelaces can be clearly seen. And also, as usual, Ellie comes along with socks this time. And now let's take a closer look at their backpacks. You could see the straps and stickers that Ellie put on it clearly. There's space for weapons on the side and the flashlight is tied on her back. There's some slight weathering to make the whole overall look cooler. And compared with hers, Joel's backpack is less showy, and you could see the patch and wear out on it clearly. There's pocket for smaller items, and you could always fit some weapons on its side. Now in the games, Joel's flashlight is always flashing. That's some great interaction. And because Joel is a smuggler, you could see some heavy weathering on his bags. And before we get to look at the accessories, let's see their articulation. So thanks to the PVC wrapped neck, Joel now has some great head articulation, and the neck is a soft material so there's no worries to move it from side to side, and the arm sideways could reach an easy 90 degrees plus, and Joel is always wearing his birthday present from Sarah, December 26. Happy birthday, Joel. And the elbow is a double joint so there's no problem for him to reach at 90 degrees plus. And because they've made a newly molded body, so this time Joel will have no problem leaning forward, and the leaning backward could reach an easy 30 degrees with no problem. And I'll have to admit that the soft upper chest feels really great. And the butterfly joint could move easily up and down so you won't have no problem if Joel is shrugging his shoulders. And because the lower body is the same with Limtoys Leon, so the articulation was basically the same, a 90 degrees forward kick, and the double joint at the knees could ensure some great nice looking kneeling position. It could reach somewhere around 120 degrees, but I'll have to say that it is restricted by the clothing. And the side kick could reach somewhere around 60 degrees, which was quite sufficient to me, but it may back bounce a little bit. And here comes my personal favorite. Now as you can see, there are some great ankle articulation so he will have no problem standing in any position. And now let's move on to Ellie. Her body was fully customized and you will have to be a little bit careful when you're playing with it. You could pull down her arm a little bit for better articulation, and the double joint on the elbow could reach an easy 180 degrees. And just like the same as Joel, Ellie this time has a PVC soft neck, so you'll find it no problem for her to move her neck side to side. And the best part is her hair won't tangle with all the clothes. And not just the neck, the whole upper body for Ellie is covered in soft material, so she will have some great forward-leaning and back-leaning angles. And yet sadly, because they both have the same kind of pants material, Ellie and Joel all have some limited leg articulation, and her bending knees could reach over 60 degrees, so does her side kicks, and because she's wearing a low-top sneakers, so that ensures the ankle articulation. And this time Ellie comes along with two pairs of exchangeable hands. The first are gun holding hands and the next one are for grapples. The sharpness and texture are really great. So the first accessory is her switchblade, which I think are really nicely painted. And this pistol that Joel gave to her was based on the Walter P5. I really love the details even without the movable magazine. And there's 4 arrows that comes along with Ellie, all with great painting work done. But I'll have to say that do be careful when you're playing with it, it might be easily broken just like in the games. And next, this bow is perfect for interaction from all these accessories because the string is made of elastic rope, so you can actually stretch the bow, but careful not to break it down. And as for Joel, there's 3 pairs of exchangeable hands. You could use grapple hands for smaller items, and you could use this relaxing hand for holding things like the bricks. They're all highly detailed with great painting work done, and here's the gun holding hands. And as for accessories, it comes along with 2 scissor pieces like this, and also a wider scissor pieces just like that. So you could use these to upgrade your weapons, or simply put them on the figure's hands. Here it is, the nail bomb. I'll have to say that although I haven't been using it a lot in the games, but they nailed it every time. And of course, the anti-clicker weapon bricks, and looks like the ones from the Patriot Studio. And this Glock revolver, although has some quite simple painting, but was molded with great detail. And this pistol that Joel's been using was actually modified based on the Browning GP35. And all the wooden texture this time was molded on the weapon, not just painting. Limtoys are really trying their best. And here's the pipe that I've been using from time to time in the game. It always comes in handy no matter who you're using it to deal with. And of course, you could always use the wrappers that comes along with the box to give it an upgrade using the scissors, but I prefer just keep it this way. And finally, this shotgun is made after the famous Remington 870. You could see the wooden texture and the rivet on it clearly, but sadly there's no movable part. And here comes the rifle with stunning texture. This is made after the Remington 700. You could see the reflection in the gun sight, and I'm really satisfied with all the texture they've made on it. And if you bought the double pack, here is the extra accessories that you're gonna get. The Molotov cocktail. Not big enough, but dangerous enough. And here is the easily broken baseball bat. Although I hardly use it in the games, but I really love the blood paint they've done on it. And of course, can't avoid this giant blade. And here comes the mask Joel's been using to avoid spores. I really love the painting job they've done on it, and the elastic band was a clever idea. And finally, a height comparison for you to make a reference. I must say I'm really satisfied with Limtoys this time, and I hope they'll do better and better in the future. So this is pretty much everything about today's video. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe. Be seeing you next time.